And good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Real Estate Radio Hour. What are we going to be doing today?
We're going to talk about lots of things. Obviously, we'll take calls.
Sure.
That people have.
Text messages as well. Text messages, too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, our topic today is kind of based off of those calls and from our listeners emailing in. There's been a lot of confusion on co-signing. So that's when a buyer needs help with financing. They
kind of like a son or daughter if they have their mom or dad or grandpa or grandma.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of different scenarios. Different ways in which people could co-sign, but yet then can qualify to be able to get that co-signer off as soon as 60 to 90 days. So there's some situations that happen that people can't qualify for a certain reason, but if there's a deal and they want to be able to get into a house. And today's topic is more to kind of calm the nerves of what those co-signers do.
Well, as we get into the show, let's do that. Let me toss out the phone numbers and the text number. So if you do have a real estate-related question, especially if it's about co-signing, that's the topic we're zeroing in on, but certainly any real estate question. 651-989-9226, 651-989-9226, or you can send us a text at 81807. That's 81807.
Yeah, today we also got Mona Edick with Prime Lending with us. We have a lot of good lenders that contribute to our radio show, and definitely Mona's one of them as well. So we're happy she's along, and she's going to be able to kind of take the financing perspective from this co-signing. But I just wanted to kind of start out and say that a lot of people get co-signing and ownership a little mixed up. Okay, so if you're co-signing on a loan, that doesn't necessarily mean you own the house. So I've had questions that have come in and said, if I co-sign on the loan, can I tell them when they can sell and not sell?
I can see how people can misconstrue that.
Yeah, and, obviously, if you're co-signing on a loan, here's the bad part about it. If you're co-signing on a loan and you don't have any ownership in it, you're kind of SOL, really, if you if they start.
It's a real estate term.
Yeah, exactly. It's a universal term. But, so you could be in trouble that way. So obviously you don't want to just co-sign for anyone. And if you do, then obviously you want to be on the title, because just because you owe or you're part of the loan doesn't mean that you own part of the house.
You just got to pay the freight.
You got to pay the freight.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we find that out a lot of times in divorces. And Mona can kind of, when there's a divorce decree, but they're still both on the loan, but they don't have any ownership of the house. You lose that house, the spouse is in trouble.
Yeah, depending on how the divorce decree reads, but if you're both on the loan, then you're both liable.
Right. And then there's some things, if the decree says something and someone goes bad on it, you can use that to the underwriter.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well, one of the parts that we wanted to talk about was how we do with the FHA loans. FHA is a real interesting. It's a government loan. Mm-hmm. And now what's the amount on the FHA that you can go up to?
Well, it depends on county, but it's $365 for the 11-county metro area.
Yeah, so $365,000. Mm-hmm. So that's covering a lot of our houses.
Right.
I had talked a while back that the top 10% of sales are like $500,000 and over. So a majority, 75% of the sales are what we're talking about. So let's just kind of talk about a couple different scenarios and how maybe someone just starting out that wants to buy a house can't quite qualify.
Yeah, I have a lot of clients who, coming out of college, are just getting started into the workforce. They have student loan debt, and it makes it so that they can't qualify for a home or the home that they need to be in. So a lot of times they'll find a co-signer and can qualify. And the good news is when they can assume that loan, when they've paid down their student loan debt or they've advanced far enough in their career, they can just assume that other borrower off, keeping the rate and the terms the same as when they originally purchased.
Right. I think that's a big thing people don't know. They don't know that they think that, we have to refinance off of it and kind of do all those closing costs all over again. Not the case.
That's not the case. Nope. I looked it up. The average lender fees is between $50 and $90 to do a loan assumption. And they have to qualify. So there are some things that they'll have to present to the lender. They'll have a credit check done, employment history verification, and income verification.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, why would a kid just getting out of college that's got a new job, doesn't quite have the history, maybe has the student loans, can't qualify, but out on his own, I talk, like the Minnesota home rental guys, they're always looking for more houses to be able to rent, and that's the thing, if you're going to go rent a house and you're going to pay $1,800 a month, you can get them into an FHA mortgage at the same thing, probably be around $1,200.
Yeah, I have a borrower right now whose rent in Maple Grove is $1,100 a month, and he's closing at the end of December, and his new mortgage payment with taxes and insurance and everything is $929.
Wow.
The rates are very low, and the housing market is now starting to improve. So for somebody who really wants to take advantage of today's low home prices and low rates and get locked in, can definitely utilize a cosigner.
I was going to say there was a report. I can't remember what the actual report was, but it said that 1.3 million people became not underwater because of the market kind of going up. Yeah, because everyone at the market was down, and I've talked about that. I last year had for instance, on a house I told them $349,900. This year went in same house. They did kind of couple little updates. $379,900 sold right away.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the market it's definitely improving, and that's just another great way to, let's jump in and grab it.
Yep, before it's too late.
Excellent. I tell you what, let's take a quick break here. We have some callers on the line. If you have a real estate question, 651-989-9226. There's one line open now. Or send a text 81807, 81807. We'll be back with more. The Real Estate Radio Hour here on 830 WCCO.